How do colonized peoples resist the imposition of beliefs? So this section looks at, what happens when there's colonization and the people who are being colonized put up some resistance to imposition of external belief systems, culture, and religion. We can also refer to this as religious resistance because the people who are the victims of the colonization are actively resisting taking in the colonizers' imposition of their beliefs. So the first one is called syncretism, and syncretism is when belief systems are merged. Now, you might not think of this as resistance, but in fact, it is a way to keep your traditional belief systems while bringing in components of the new belief system, especially the outward or external trappings of it. And a good example of this would be the Aztecs and the Spanish Catholic belief system that was imposed upon them. So in Dia de los Muertos, which we just talked about in the last video, I talked about it as being a syncretic event, right, or celebration. It's syncretic because it has these ancient Aztec beliefs that also correspond with the Catholic calendar. So to the Catholics on the outside, it looks like the Aztec or the Nahuatl people are celebrating the Catholic holidays when really they're internally celebrating their ancient holidays. So in this way, it's a form of resistance. Even the gods that the Aztecs had, like Tonantzin, who is a mother goddess, was sort of fused into the Virgin Mary. So they could still worship the Virgin Mary while inside believing it was Tonantzin. Revitalization movements are another kind of religious resistance in which a group of people that have gone through suffering and stress due to colonization or other really stressful cultural events, they actively create a new religion that is designed to get them back to what they had before, right? You can imagine what it must be like to be undergoing this kind of huge culture shift at gunpoint, basically, that comes from outside forces. And so there are a number of resistance movements that are actually created during those times of stress. One of them is this cargo cult called the John Frum movement that we see on the island of Vanuatu. And a cargo cult it's a strange name, but basically it's a group of ideas that actually are sort of a wish fulfillment, right? So it's if people in the revitalization movement or in this newly created religion all do the rituals correctly, accurately, then they will achieve something like happiness or deliverance, or they will be able to restore their culture to what it once was before the imposition of colonial forces. So on Vanuatu, a cargo cult developed, meaning that they wished for cargo to come in to their island. And the cargo could be things that they wanted, but it could also be the people they had lost. And the cargo could come in on boats or airplanes and then potentially take them to the place where their dead ancestors existed now. The John Frum movement is really interesting in terms of cargo cults because you notice that they have an American flag and they're dressed like soldiers, sort of, with staffs that look like potentially like guns. And this is to celebrate a legendary American soldier named John Frum, who actually was first known as John from America. And he was a soldier from the US Army or Navy that over the years became just John Frum. And once a year on John Frum Day, the people in this movement will march as if they are soldiers. They will repaint the landing strip, hoping that John Frum will bring their cargo on an airplane and bring them everything they've always wanted. So syncretism and revitalization movements are two of the ways in which a group that is going through conquest and colonization can show some agency and some resistance.